Molweni, Molweni. Hi and welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another conscious conversation with me, Miss Apani. So I thought it was very important for me to talk about self-love first because you can't give away what you don't have. And I've also realized that how you perceive yourself or how you feel about yourself basically is the key to how you function in everything. So because we are talking about love and relationship relating to someone else, it is important to understand that how you value yourself and how you see yourself, what you think and believe that you deserve, is going to affect how you relate to the other person, your significant other, your fede mpinchi, your pumpkin, your bae, whatever you call your partner. And also realizing that attractor say ulinsona, so you attract what you are or who you are. And the reason why I say work on yourself, because your partner can be an identification or a signal that maybe there's something that you still need to work within you. So so in this video we're going to talk about love and relationship relating to the other person. I'm just sharing just my bit from that little that I have experienced and what I do believe relating to relationship. So because you attract se uling sona, I have come to understand and learn that there is no mistake in terms of the people that you end up dating or marry. So akuna phoso, because you'll be attracting what you have within you, what you desire or who you are. So my philosophy, let me not call it a philosophy. Should I call it a philosophy? I don't know. So my understanding or my belief about relationship, and I'm talking from a point of people who are committed to each other, people who perceive each other the same, who have the same vision, and I'm talking from a level of marriage point, right? Or marriage, or my understanding of what marriage is. So my belief is that separation is a coward's decision, and I'll tell you why I say that. I've come to believe that oftentimes when we have conflict, so we separate because there's conflicts and that are continuous, and that we do not find a solution to whatever that is going on. And I have come to understand and realize that oftentimes when we are having conflicts, it is because of the way we are perceiving the problem. So the problem is the problem. The problem is not each other, but we fight each other instead of fighting the problem. We fight each other's characters as opposed to fighting to perceive the problem the same. Because if we can perceive the problem the same, we can then work towards the solution. I have come to understand the reason why I say separation is a coward's decision is because I'm saying coward because oftentimes I would have to change myself. Like I said in I think my video on emotional intelligence, is that every time I find myself complaining, judging, criticizing, having some sort of anger and resentment towards my partner, it's a signal, it's a calling, it's an identification. I call it a diagnosis. It's a diagnosis to work on me. Because if you look at the problem, so with relationships, it's two people with two different belief systems, perception, different thinking processes, and how we're going to feel about the problem is different. But if we can work towards having the same perception, same thinking process about the problem, then we can both be aligned and be in sync and then work towards the solution. So instead of fighting the problem and fighting to have the same perception about the problem, we fight each other's characters. So my philosophy say again is that first seek to understand, meaning that let me understand my partner's perception, their thinking process, how they internalizing, how they are feeling. Then I'll be able to understand why they're acting the way they act. But I mean, this has to be on both sides. It's not a thing of the woman has to do this and the man has to. It's a thing that we both have to work on. But because I'm responsible for my own perceptions, I have to work on myself. I have to work at changing those belief systems. The reason why I say separation is a coward's decision, because I'm a coward because I decide to hold on. You hold on to that belief system that you've carried all your life from since you were a baby till you are 35, that you are 40, that you are 25, and you hold on to that belief and you don't want to let go of that belief. That even though when you are changing, you want the other person to change with you. So I say separation is a coward's decision because I don't want to deal with my own demons. I don't want to deal with this belief system that I've carried all my life. So I want you to change. I am requesting, I'm requesting and wanting my partner to be the one changing their belief system because I don't have to deal with me. I want my partner to change the way they are perceiving the situation so that I do not have to deal with myself. I don't have to deal with my ego. Obviously these are different things, but all I'm saying is what I've come to understand. The rule is we have to perceive the problem the same so we can work towards the solution. One of the other things I've realized in relationship is that because people, we can never stay the same. We are going to change, and because we are going to change, sometimes we do not accept the changes that we see in our partners, and therefore it's just not understanding. I've known you for 5 years and I'm not liking the change. Or rather, if I'm changing, I want you to change with me. It's never the fact that I'm accepting the level that you are at, and therefore these create conflicts because my perception of the situation our perception about the situation is not the same. I think one of the other things I've realized is that we sweep things under the carpet. And when I'm saying we sweep things under the carpet, is that we will encounter conflicts or problems. And for me, sometimes these little problems that we don't talk about, for me, it's like an investment. You invest all those problems, those little things, those nani things. You invest in them, you put them, and once something really huge happens, then you bring them up. And I'm not saying that everything that you don't feel good about, you have to fight about it. I'm not saying fight about it, but it is talking about how you feel. I've come to also understand that feelings are everything. And when I'm saying feelings are everything, it's because when I'm saying pay attention to the feeling, because the feeling is a reflection of what I'm thinking, it's a reflection of how I'm internalizing things, it's a reflection of my perception. So to understand, if you're going to pay more attention to how I feel and how I act, you are most likely to understand why or how I'm perceiving the whole situation. Maybe perceiving the third party, perceiving the other person, perceiving the problem, perceiving the environment, so that we can better then work towards the goal, which is the solution and being happier. Because we always want to be happy, but every time when there are conflicts, I say work on yourself. So yeah, my belief is that feelings are everything. Never disregard your partner's feelings. Your feelings are going to be the first thing that is going to help you understand what the source of the problem is. The feeling is going to identify, pay attention to the feeling because it's a diagnosis. It's going to tell you a lot about your partner's perception. It doesn't matter how you feel, it doesn't matter how little you may think the problem is, but do listen and pay attention to what your partner is saying about how they feel, or what this particular situation, or how you said certain things makes them feel. Don't disregard the feeling because it tells you a lot about the perception of the person themselves. And yeah, so feelings are everything. Not literally, feelings are everything. They're everything. Um, so, in also learning about relationships, I have learned that love is not sacrifice and love is not compromise. If I'm going to compromise and sacrifice for you, I'm going to expect the same thing for you from you, and I don't believe that is love. So because of learning the whole system of it, we have certain beliefs which ultimately lead to the way how we internalize and think and act. That tells me that we have to, meaning that we can work together, and like in terms of us having to solve problems. I do not have to sacrifice myself. I do not have to compromise myself. But we can work together to solving, finding another third alternative where we can both be happy. We can find a third alternative where we can both be happy about the situation, as opposed to you sacrificing because say, okay, I'm gonna let the slide because of you. But meaning that the sacrifice and the compromise is also another way of having, it's like sweeping things under the carpet. That's how I see it. It's a build up, it's an investment. You're building up all the anger, that little feeling that you had, that uncomfortable feeling that you didn't want to speak about, and you just let it slide. If I'm going to compromise for you, I'm going to expect that you do the same thing for me. So that's why I don't believe that love is compromise and love is sacrifice. I believe that there's always a third alternative, there's another third solution where we are both going to agree to saying, okay, let's rather take this route, or let's rather do this. So one of the things I believe when it comes to relationship is that my husband is a reflection of I, and I am a reflection of my husband. When you see me, you see my husband, and when you see my husband, you see me. Um, and I am saying from a point of that my understanding is that because we are one body, one mind, one soul, one everything. We do everything together, from his interest and my interest, to his businesses and my businesses, to my anything that I want to do and whatever that he wants to do. We are one. You don't make decisions without me. I don't make decisions without you. Understanding that literally my understanding that you must know everything about me. Even when I get into a depression state, you must recognize that I'm getting into a depression state. Even when you are going through a depression state, I must understand that you are going through some changes, meaning that we have to spend quality time together on a regular basis so that we don't lose each other. So I do believe that, obviously, okay, I'm not married or anything, but I do believe even when I'm going to start dating and getting into the commitment phase and what's this thing, and marriage, that's my understanding that I'm a reflection of my husband, and my husband is a reflection of I. And meaning that we both have to be open-minded in terms of how we're going to solve problems, and that we have to fight with each other so that we can solve the problem. And I'm not saying fighting each other and killing each other, but I mean having to, if I'm able to put myself first and put you first, I'm expecting the same thing from you. So one of the other advices that came from my brother, they have passed a 10-year mark in their relationship, or rather in their marriage, sorry. And he was saying that his advice, because I asked him what is the recipe, and he said his advice is that never allow a third party. And I'll tell you what a third party is. A third party is your parents. When you put your parents first before your partner. A third party can be colleagues. Your third party can be friends. Your third party can be work. Both of you must agree to what you want in life and work towards that. It shouldn't be that you are putting everyone else and getting influences from other people before your partner. A third party can be anything from your work, your cell phones, your children, your parents, your siblings. If you're going to put your siblings before your partner, or listening to other people's opinions and not your partner. Okay, there's something I like in the Bible. It says, husband love your wife. Ask your wife, not your friends at work, not your your friends, girlfriends, or whatever, ask your wife, how do you want to be loved? And it says, wives, submit to your husband. Ask your husband, husband, how do you want to be submitted? Because how he perceives is different from any other one. How she wants to be loved is different for everyone else. So don't regard that. It's talking to your partner, for your partner to be the one who directs your relationship or directs how you guys want to live your life. So that's what I wanted to share. And yeah, thank you so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.